I'm excited to be here this morning to celebrate National Disability Employment Awareness Month and to recognize the 85,000 Montgomery County residents who currently live and work here with a disability. And I see everybody has popped on to our Zoom. Good morning to all of you, incredible leaders and advocates. Since the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act 31 years ago, we've continued to make progress here by extending access to employment and community involvement to more and more people with disabilities, helping them, helping their friends, and of course their family as well. And Montgomery County has an incredibly strong network of local organizations that are working every single day to provide job training and job placement and other support services, wraparound services to the thousands of our friends and neighbors and loved ones who are experiencing some sort of disability. And I am pleased this morning to be joined by my HHS colleagues, Vice President and Chair Albornoz, Councilmember Craig Rice, and our dear friend, District 3 Councilmember Sydney Katz. And all of us have an incredible passion for this work and creating opportunities for everyone to succeed so that they have fulfilling lives. And there are so many organizations here in Montgomery County that it was hard to whittle down to a Zoom already this large. But I am so pleased that all of you are here. And in a few minutes, we'll hear from each of you briefly, but just wanted to give a quick shout out to Sunflower Bakery, Up County Community Resources, the ARC Montgomery County, D-Treatment Learning Center, Red Wiggler Farm, Transcend, and the Caroline Center. And so as these organizations continue to lead the way, we are incredibly proud to have you based here in Montgomery County and doing work for all of our residents. And it's not only the work that you do, but it is incredible partner organizations like Dawson's Market and Giant and other retailers and grocers and restaurants who partner with you to help all of us in the community. And it is wonderful to see. And so with that, I would like to introduce Council Vice President Albornoz to make some comments.
Thank you, Councilmember Glass. Well said, and it's an honor to join you as well as Councilmember Rice to provide this really important proclamation. And as I look out into the Zoom audience here, I see some of the most remarkable leaders that we have here in Montgomery County, representing some of the most special organizations we have here in Montgomery County. And I want to thank in particular all of you for your dedication and your leadership. Each of you have had to pivot in ways that you could have never imagined since the beginning of the pandemic to provide support for not just the clients and the families that you all serve, but for your own staff to take care of them holistically and emotionally during what has been an emotional time. And I love the theme of this year's Employment Disability Awareness Month, which is America's Recovery, Powered by Inclusion. And nationally, we know that more than 1 million people with disabilities lost employment during the first 6 weeks of the pandemic. And we know how COVID has disproportionately impacted our residents with disabilities in a variety of ways, and tragically from a health perspective as well. But we are so fortunate to have such great nonprofit organizations who lead the way in letting everyone know the benefits of having these remarkable individuals join us in the workplace. There is a dignity that comes with receiving a paycheck. And there are skills that every single one of us has and can contribute to our society and to our economy in so many different ways. And so I encourage all of our businesses out in Montgomery County and in our region to please work with these incredible organizations and families and find employment that everyone will benefit from, especially, frankly, the employees themselves that have the opportunity to work alongside with these remarkable individuals. So it's an honor to join you all this morning, and I yield back to you, Councilmember Glass.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chair and Vice President. Well said. Councilmember Craig Rice, dual hats of also HHS and Chair of the Education and Culture Committee, important for this conversation.
Well, thank you very much, Councilmember Glass, and I want to thank my colleagues for all of their remarks. And I want to address what it means to the individual. And I want to start off with a couple quick stories. One, which is my chief of staff, who was diagnosed with ALS, and towards when the disease progressed, became disabled, had a wheelchair. The most important thing, we heard this from his widow, was that he was able to still come to work. We made accommodations for him, and that's what mattered to him in his last days, being a part. And it means something for all the people who you, our nonprofit partners, continue to employ, because that's what they want. They want to be included. They want to be a part. They want to feel as though they matter. They want to feel as though they're not separated from anybody else who looks just like them, but may have a little bit of a disability or some sort of a learning challenge or some sort of a physical disability that kind of gives them some sort of a challenge with some tasks. But the reality is that there's still so many things that they can do, so many things. And we need to make sure that we're continuing to provide those opportunities, because it matters so much to the individual. We're lifting up people of all ability levels and allowing them to play a part in our community, in our society, in our world. Isn't that what we're all about? Inclusivity, about making sure that people realize just how important they are. When we strive for diversity and inclusion, it really is something that should be found in the workplace. And what a great model it is for young people, our young children, to be able to see adults like them who are in the workforce that we can showcase as examples. We always talk about, the diversity of teachers and the diversity of people in our workforce, primarily of color. And we say, look, it's great to have a Black teacher. It's great to have a, teacher of Latinx descent. These things are great because it gives folks examples. Well, it's also great to have people in our workforce who have differing abilities, because for those young people who then can look and see and say that my future is bright and I have something to look forward to, is just incredibly important. And so I just really want to, again, thank each and every one of you, because I know that you wear your heart on your sleeve, that you do it because it matters to you personally, and because you know how much it matters to our society as a whole. And to the companies, from Hot Breads to Marriott, from the smallest to the absolute largest, thank you to all of our corporate partners who continue to make sure that everybody understands that accessibility matters. Thank you, Councilmember Glass.
Well, thank you, Councilmember Rice. I think that should be a title of someone's memoirs, From Hot Breads to Marriott. I love it and love everything that you said. And we are all committed to making sure that everybody in our community continues to have access to the jobs, and especially the changing nature of jobs as they become more digital, and as the types of education and skills needed for some of these jobs evolve. We're going to be here making sure that you all have the support and the resources that you need as we continue to progress as a community. And so in no particular order, we'd love to just hear briefly from each of you. And first off, I'd love to hear from Jody Tick, the Executive Director of Sunflower Bakery.
Good morning. Thank you, Councilmember Glass, and the rest of the members of the Health and Human Services Committee for recognizing Sunflower Bakery today as part of the Montgomery County commemoration of National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Sunflower enables pathways to employment, as we've been discussing, for people with learning differences through workforce development in pastry arts and hospitality. And since our inception in 2010, Sunflower has impacted the lives of more than 460 individuals through our employment training and job exposure programs. And last year, we had an employment placement rate of 70% and have developed partnerships and relationships with over 60 local employers to place our well-trained graduates. Sunflower continues to respond to the growing demand from employers and students, especially in this era of COVID-19, and we will continue to enhance, evolve, and expand our programming to meet that need. Thank you again, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with the county.
One of my favorite bakeries. Thank you very much, Jody, for you and all the work that you do. Next up, another friend of the council, Jenny Lynn, the Executive Director of Up County Community Resources.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, and thank you for this honor. It's so nice to be recognized, knowing that we're probably the smallest nonprofit on this call. Yeah, the pandemic did put us into quite a tailspin because we like to do all of our programs in the community. We feel like inclusive training is mutually beneficial for the community to see the potential of our members and for our members to learn appropriate behavior skills and job skills in the community where they can see their neighbors and have their neighbors see them. And it was really hard during the pandemic to do that, so we did pivot to a one-to-one training, and now some of those folks have been able to move into the group training, and but there are just some members that still need that intensive work. And while we can't guarantee that everybody is going to get hired right away, we just want to equip and empower our members with skills that they need to be successful in whatever business they would choose. Their version of success is different than mine and is different from their parents. So we're really just trying to find the skills that make them happy and equip them for a fulfilling life. So I'm really thrilled to be here. We're only 7 years old. I think I've been around for 6 of those years, and it's an honor to be called a friend of the council. So thank you very much. And I think I get bonus points for joining from 39 degrees in Wisconsin in a cemetery, because I had to go on a hill to find a signal out here at my in-laws' house. So well, I may drop up early. I'm freezing.
Thank you for joining us from a hill in a cemetery from Wisconsin. Lot to unpack there, Jenny, but thank you very much for taking the time. And so from one of the smallest organizations amongst us this morning to one of the largest, the ARC Montgomery County, I'd love to introduce Daria Cervantes, the Chief Executive Officer of the ARC.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for the honor of being part of this proclamation today. The ARC Montgomery County's mission is to connect people of all abilities and all ages to build fulfilling lives. And nothing helps people build a fulfilling life like a job does. Aside from the monetary benefits of having a paycheck and the freedom that buys for people, the ability to form relationships, gain new skills, and be able to go somewhere when somebody says to you, "What do you do?" you have an answer about what your job and what your career is, brings so much meaning to the lives of the people that we support. During the pandemic, many of the people that we support in employment actually were essential workers. So they were back to work relatively quickly, as were the staff people who support them. So it was challenging, but it was rewarding to see that people with disabilities once again stepped up to the plate when they were needed. So thank you for this opportunity today. We value our partnership with the county, and we certainly value our partnership with many of the colleagues I see on this call, some of whom I haven't seen in years at all, let alone in person. Looking forward to when we can get back to that. So thank you so much for this proclamation today.
Well, thank you. And we do what we can these days to get everybody in the same Zoom where it happens. And until we get to see each other personally, this will do for now. But thank you, Daria. Next up is Dr. Patty Ritter, the Executive Director of Treatment Learning Center, another great organization.
Hi, thank you. Thank you to the Montgomery County Council, HHS Committee, for recognizing National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and TLC, the Treatment and Learning Centers. It's a real honor. For 70 plus years, TLC has been meeting the unique and diverse needs of the community, including supporting transitioning youth and helping adults with disabilities find and keep jobs. Not only does employing an individual with disabilities support community inclusion and increased independence for the individual, but more importantly, it provides a diverse workforce and a valued employee, which makes good business sense. I would like to extend a special thank you to our TLC staff and all the individuals who work hard to find and support the right employment opportunities. Thank you again, and we hope that this recognition will raise awareness and result in even more jobs in Montgomery County. So thank you.
Amen to that. And also thank you for the shout out to all the supportive staff and board members and everybody else who makes this happen. So thank you, Dr. Ritter. Next up, another friend to many, Woody Woodruff, the Executive Director of Red Wiggler Farm, one of my favorite farms in Montgomery County.
Thanks, Council Member, and good to see everyone this morning. Red Wiggler was founded in 1996, 25 years ago, to create meaningful jobs for adults with developmental disabilities. Our mission at Red Wiggler is to be a sustainable farm where people with and without developmental disabilities come together to work, learn, and grow healthy food. And during the pandemic, we were essential workers here on the farm. Prior to the pandemic, we had 14 adults with developmental disabilities on our payroll, getting paid minimum wage or better. At the onset of the pandemic, it was just a small group of folks keeping the farm going so we could get to the other side. And slowly, we were able to bring our growers back to work. However, we paid everyone according to the schedule that we had planned for them throughout our fiscal year, which ended in September. So that's beyond the PPP money, and everyone had a chance to come to work when they were ready. What was really meaningful for everyone that works at Red Wiggler and volunteers at Red Wiggler is that during the pandemic, 50% of the food we grow and harvested was distributed to our neighbors in need through various channels. And this touches on a point of when you're working here at Red Wiggler, you're contributing to your community. And yes, we sell vegetables, but we also make our vegetables and the food we grow accessible to a wide range of people. And this develops a sense of pride for our growers. And they really have established an identity as a farmer. As Darius said, you know, what do you do for work? Our guys say they grow watermelons, or they grow vegetables, or they work on a farm. And it's just really heartwarming. Thank you all for recognizing this wonderful group of nonprofits and leaders here in Montgomery County. We really appreciate the recognition.
Well, thank you, Woody. Some of the sweetest watermelons around. So keep on growing. Next, love to introduce Laura Owens, the president of Transcend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I am a transplant from Wisconsin, Jen. So I was just in Wisconsin this past weekend. So Transcend is very honored to be recognized by Councilmember Glass and the members of the Health and Human Services Committee for the work that we've done over the past 35 years in supporting individuals with disabilities and obtaining and maintaining employment. Our mission is meaningful work and community inclusion, and that really is the cornerstone of everything we do. We work with the Montgomery County schools, we work with the businesses in the community, and I think everybody's pretty much said it. Employment is so critical for everybody, and I am hoping for a day when we don't have to have a National Disability Employment Awareness Month, because it'll just be a natural thing to hire people with disabilities, because the reality is employment is really an economic issue, because we need everybody in our communities to work, for our businesses to prosper and our communities to thrive. And I am proud to be a Montgomery County person now, to really support individuals with disabilities and to work with some amazing people like Pat, like Sunflower Bakery and Jody, like Uptown County with Jen. And I'd like to get to know all the other people on this as well. So thank you so much for this opportunity and this honor and recognition.
Well, thank you. And yes, we can reconvene this group for Worker Appreciation Month, whenever that might be, right? And then rounding us out, last but not least, welcome Marcus Handy, the Senior Director of Services for Caroline Center.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of everyone at the Caroline Center, I would like to thank Councilmember Glass, and the other members of the Health and Human Services Committee for this special honor. Every day, our staff work collaboratively to embrace our agency's core values through providing supports that accomplish our overall mission to inspire individuals to work and to increase their quality of life. Our work is truly a team effort, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the many direct support professionals that provide this meaningful work day in and day out, especially through all the challenges during this pandemic. Again, thank you for recognizing our organization, and congratulations to all the other honorees.
Thank you very much, Marcus. And so with that, we can now read the proclamation. So I will start this off. A proclamation of the Montgomery County Council. Whereas National Disability Employment Awareness Month is held every October, so we can recognize the important work taking place to ensure that individuals with disabilities have full access to employment and community involvement. And
whereas our thriving network of local nonprofit organizations are committed to creating rich and rewarding opportunities for people with disabilities, while also fighting the stigma that exists within our communities at large. And
whereas we must continue working with organizations and businesses to close the unemployment gap among people with disabilities, as they currently face an unemployment rate of 11% in Montgomery County, compared with 4% of people who have no disabilities. And
whereas Montgomery County is appreciative of our critical partnerships with local disability employment organizations that are educating and bringing awareness to all residents about issues facing communities with disabilities. And
whereas Disability Employment Awareness Month honors the important contributions of people with disabilities in our community and those who support, encourage, and employ them.
now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby proclaims October 2021 as Disability Employment Awareness Month, presented on this, the 26th day of October in the year 2021, signed by me and Council President Tom Hooker. So thank you all for joining us this morning and for all the incredible work that you do here in our community.